Welcome to Northwest Profiles, a look at people, places, and events of interest in the inland Northwest. It is a rare yet stylish blend of artistry and craftsmanship. A fusion of spontaneous free-flowing creativity in the form of reverse painting on glass with the honed discipline of fine woodworking. Simply put, it's art furniture. A unique art form that was tried with uncertainty in the beginning, but has now been clearly mastered by a Spokane artist whose one-of-a-kind furniture has earned him national acclaim.
You think of furniture as craft and the abstract paintings as art, so the combining of the two is something that people have a somewhat hard time pigeonholing. And yet in New York, that was one of the best things they liked about what I did, was the quality of the furniture. You know, it's not made out of twigs and whatnot. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's obvious that I know about furniture. And it's not overwhelming the art aspect of it either. It definitely comes off as art furniture.
Trained as both a musician and a highly skilled furniture designer and builder, Martin Gerard Moran entered the art world literally by accident. 6 years ago, while in the middle of a commercial building project, Martin sustained a back injury that required surgery. During the long recovery process, Martin experienced a calling that eventually prompted him to change his name as well as the direction of his work.
Really, it came after a real low point. It's one of those wake up in the middle of the night and I actually heard a voice that said, "Art is where it's at. Trust me, I'm your most significant other." And I thought, what am I going to do with that information, you know? And I knew that it didn't mean furniture design, and it didn't mean music. So I don't know. And I'd played with some ideas years before when I had work in the Design Center Northwest. And I don't know, I decided to try doing some pieces, and I liked it right off the bat. And I looked at it as kind of like jewelry for your floor, or art we can both eat off of. I don't know, it just seemed a natural progression. I had the ability to put the glass into a nice setting, and in that respect, it's like jewelry.
The creative process behind Martin's artwork is one of sharp contrast, considering his art furniture involves achieving a perfect balance between two totally diverse disciplines: freewheeling art in the form of reverse painting on glass, and fine craftsmanship in the form of elegant furniture designed in the European tradition.
The glass is the easy part. Because I'm working with enamels, I have to go straight through. So that might be 8 to 12, 16 hours straight. 3/4 of the time is spent trying to get something started that works. And then it's a matter of trying to work in color and balance. I would say balance is one of the key elements that I use. Composition isn't necessarily always up front, which is to say I don't sit down and sketch what I'm planning to paint. It really evolves out of the work itself. And in that respect, I refer to it as Zen-like, because you take what you get and you get into a certain flow, and you just keep the momentum up, and you either create something that's great or you wash it clean again. And that I've done many times. It's really a blind process. As you're doing it, you have very little idea what it is you're doing, because it's all on the backside. And so part of the fun of it is trying to figure out what it is that you came up with when you were looking at the front side of the glass, and figuring out how it is you're going to get that on the back side of the glass, while at the same time flipping the image over in your mind so that it actually goes the way you planned it. And 10% of the time it actually works that way. And usually it's a matter of working with what happened. And most of the time, it's better than I had pictured. The glass aspect is very free-flowing, although when it comes time to fitting it into a frame and the tolerances required, I basically take off the artist's smock and put on the woodworker's apron. The woodworking is all about dimensions and fractions and tight tolerances and finishes, and the art aspect really is pretty wide open. I guess once again there's a balance achieved there by trying to incorporate that free-flowing aspect with the good German craftsmanship that goes into the table itself.
The beauty of Martin Gerard's art furniture is striking. His tables, cabinets, and room dividers are all designed to provide a room with a unique focal point, as well as a touch of sophisticated elegance.
My pieces love light. The more light, the better. They just suck it up. So I really like to see them used where direct sun can come in. The way that the sun can change the dynamics in a painting is really fascinating to me. It can bring highlights into the painting actually from the edge that kind of fool you. But it definitely makes a statement in a room. That's a big part of what I'm doing, because I guess I'm after evoking an experience from the viewer. The fact that it's furniture at all is probably mainly due to my background, and it seemed like a bridge to get from there to here.
Martin's exquisite furniture has been displayed and sold in some of the top furniture showrooms in the country, primarily on the East Coast. Yet he admits it's not for everyone. In fact, he has sold very few of his pieces here in the inland Northwest.
It's something I suppose I could pursue, but once you're selling in New York, it's no longer so important to have it in a gallery in Spokane. I don't think that a lot of people in Spokane are looking for $5,000 coffee tables. They're willing to do that elsewhere. And the fact that I come from Spokane, I mean, they see Twin Peaks and Northern Exposure and all this stuff, and that all seems to just fit perfectly. Well, of course, you know, that's why it looks like this, and you smile the way you do, and, you know, it seemed to make perfect sense to them.
To date, Martin Gerard has produced nearly 50 one-of-a-kind furniture pieces. Whether or not time allows for any more to be produced remains to be seen, because with the emergence of Martin's artistic side, his creative self over the last couple of years has begun spinning off in other directions. Recently, Martin has revived his passion for composing music. Much of his newest material was composed for the promotional videos produced to sell his artwork. The challenge for Martin Gerard now is to strike a balance within his creative life, similar to the balance he has achieved so brilliantly in his art furniture. It's something that won't be easy, but then again, being an artist never is.
Art means pain, the pain of creation. Doing something that you aren't necessarily being paid to do. You don't have the security. You're out there doing something for the love of it, not knowing what will come of it, and you do it long enough and you get enough recognition that somehow that balances it out.
If you have a topic for Northwest Profiles, send it to KSPS TV, 3911 South Regal, Spokane, Washington, 99223. Northwest Profiles is a presentation of KSPS Public Television.